Hello everyone. Today's session is about Azure Active Directory support in CentreStack software. We are now in the Office 365 Admin Center, and we are going to the Azure AD Management Console. In order for the Azure AD authentication to work, we need to create an Azure application first. So we go to the domain, and then we need to remember the domain name here. This is one of the two parameters we need to remember. You're also going to create a native client application. Remember when we had the SSO, the single sign-on support, you need to create a web application. But for the Azure authentication for different kind of native app, then you need to create a native client application. We already created the application, so we are not going to create it again. But I can go ahead and show you what are the parameters that's important to do the integration, which is the client ID. You also need to give this application permissions to the Microsoft Graph API and Windows Azure Active Directory. So you need to make sure you gave permission to the native app. So once it's set up on the Azure Admin Center side, now it's time to set it up on the CentreStack side. The Azure AD is a per tenant concept, so each tenant can connect to a different domain. So as you can see here, there are two parameters that are required to connect to the Azure AD for the Azure authentication support. So the client ID is the client ID showing up in the on the screen here, and then there's also a domain name, right? So domain name typically is the domain of the company. The company is the tenant. So you need to remember these two parameters and then put these two parameters here, and then those two will make the connection. So the domain needs to match where you have set up the native application. For now, we haven't get the add user support in yet. So for now, you cannot browse into the Azure AD yet to create a user, so we are going to be creating a user manually. So for example, we have a user called support@centrestack.com. So we are going to create the user ourselves and create it as a native user. In the future, we could be adding another section here to say you can import user from active Azure AD, but for now, you just create a user manually and making sure the email matches the emails from the Azure AD. So we've done the testing before, so the user already exists. So let's go ahead and remove that user to show you the whole process. So we're going to go ahead and create a new user. So ideally, this user should be imported from Active Directory, the Azure AD, but we are going to just create a user for now. So we're going to create a user and making sure the email matches, right? So the password here is not that important because we are creating a dummy password, because eventually when you are doing the authentication, it's authenticate against Azure AD. So whatever password set here is going to be just some kind of a dummy password to just need to create a user, right? You need to have a set of credentials. So now the user is created. So let's go ahead and log off from here and log in to. So we are going to log into Azure AD now. So the password provided here will be matching whatever the password is on the Azure AD side. So the authentication is like single sign-on now, right? So you create a user in CentreStack, but this user, because this user has a matching Azure AD email, and then as soon as you provide the Azure AD password, then you can log in to the solution here. So the same password can be used in the native applications, the Windows app, Mac app, iOS app, and Android app. So it's unlike the single sign-on setup that you can only do it from the web portal. So as a quick review, you need to create an app first and then integrate the app into CentreStack. Thank you.